Are high-interest credit cards or personal loans weighing you down? Unlock gives homeowners a smarter option. With a home equity agreement, you can tap into your home's equity for cash today, and there are no monthly payments. Here's how it works. Unlock provides funds upfront and in exchange shares in a portion of your home's future value. That means you keep control with the flexibility to use your equity your way. Pay off bills, invest in home improvements, or set aside savings for peace of mind. For thousands of homeowners, Unlock has been the key to moving forward without the pressure of another payment. Put your equity to work for you. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
My dog is missing. Luigi. My dog of nearly 7 years. My wife was freaking out even more than me, which is a lot. We've combed through the entire house and street looking for the most trusted, loyal, adorable sweetheart of a dog you could ever imagine. Luigi was every cliche you've ever heard about man's best friend and woman's best friend, which is not a saying, but it should be. Ask my wife about Luigi. She'll get choked up just saying his name. That's how much he means to us. Now, he's missing. We've got a wooden fence around our entire yard. Not that it matters. He would never run away. We've had him off the leash for years now. Luigi is attached to at least one of our hips at all times. He's a part of us. That is barely an exaggeration. That's how often he's with us. Me and my wife briefly interrogate each other about what could have happened and where he could have gone before we both settle down and stop. Arguing is not helping, and we've never been that mad at each other before. It got tense in a way that felt completely foreign, as if we were watching a movie that starred other people. We know without a shred of doubt that the last thing either of us would have ever knowingly done is let Luigi run away. Not that he would. Again, he's been off the leash for years. It makes no sense. But now, he's gone. Until we find him, which we will. We're walking up and down our street at night with big flashlights screaming Luigi's name in every direction. It's late. Too late to be screaming at the top of your lungs around a quiet suburban neighborhood. We don't care. All we care about is finding our buddy. One of our neighbors hears us. Fred. Former school teacher. Staple of the Granbury community. Also happens to be the oldest guy in our block. Says he'll grab his industrial flashlight and walk in the other direction to cover more ground. People are at their best when life is at its worst. My mom said that once when I was little. As cynical as I can be sometimes about people, I do think that's true. Lovable Luigi. You should see his face when we come home. It beams. The way he wags his tail. Man, it's hard to even think about right now. I gotta find my buddy. I will. This is what I tell my wife. This is what my wife tells me. We mean it. Her plan is to put flyers up all around town in the morning. As soon as we get home, we're at the computer, designing a lost dog poster to put up everywhere. We spend half an hour picking out the best picture as we both try not to cry. Ultimately, we settle on the one we took in the yard a couple weeks ago. It's up close and more delightful than anything you can imagine. He's sitting in the grass, staring at the camera. The sun is locked onto his nose. You'd melt if you saw it. I can remember when we got him like it was yesterday. He slobbered all over my wife's face. The kennel worker told us we picked a good one. Luigi has a big heart. That's what they told us. Normally, that might sound like a marketing ploy, but with our puppy, it was not. He's got the biggest heart you could ever see. His purpose is to spread joy. We gotta find him. We will. Our sleep is brief and hazard. As soon as the sun dips its toes into the sky, my wife is up and shaking me awake. We don't even make coffee. There's no time for that. We've got 100 lost dog flyers in both of our hands. My batch is for our neighborhood. Every light post and mailbox within 6 blocks has a picture of Luigi's face on it. Her batch is for the town. 25 are just for the big board. This is next to the post office where people can post flyers for whatever needs posting. Rarely is it for something that's missing. Generally, it's for part-time work. That's why everyone knows about it. There's a lot of people in this town who could use a job, so the big board gets a lot of eyeballs. As soon as we step in front of it, we freeze. Our eyes must be deceiving us. This has to be some kind of twisted prank. Who would do this? What kind of sick maniac would do this? The entire board is covered with lost dog flyers.
You said your dog is missing?
That's what the receptionist at the town hall tells us as we stand there fuming. This receptionist, who is most surely hard of hearing, continually squints and tilts her good hearing ear towards my wife so she can repeat herself for a second time.
Yes, my dog is missing, along with 100 other dogs. Go look at the big board.
Other people are now watching us while pretending not to. I can't remember the last time I was here. A Christmas party, maybe? My mind is so hazy right now. My head is pounding from the lack of caffeine. If this receptionist doesn't let my wife speak with someone, I might start flipping tables. I tell my wife I need to go to work and offer to take her back home. She says she's not leaving until she speaks with the mayor. The receptionist tells my wife that the mayor is not going to be here until tomorrow due to a fundraising event. My wife says she'll camp out on the front steps until he shows up, pointing out for the now 5th time that the big board is covered with lost dog flyers, and that someone with a brain needs to look into it. My wife asks the dinosaur with human skin receptionist if she can hear what she's saying. The receptionist says that yes, she can hear what she is saying, and then scolds my wife for being rude. My wife counters with the greatest line I've ever heard.
By the looks of it, you seem to be sitting on your ass, which is a problem for me.
The receptionist squints as if her eyes are closing their curtains. I turn to one of the gawkers and nod my head, smiling, trying to make them acknowledge the supreme badass known as my wife. I check my watch. Crap, I gotta go to work. I tell my wife this with a bowling ball-sized pit in my stomach. She says that she'll call me with any updates. We hug goodbye and both try not to cry. I walk outside to the parking lot. I can't remember the last time my head was spinning like this. It's as if my brain belongs to someone else's body. It's a quick walk back to my truck, but it feels long, lonely. There's a quiet to the town that makes it feel distant. Everything looks like a diet version of its natural form. Before I step into my truck, I can't help but glance up at the sky. Go home. That's what my boss tells me when I check in that morning. He joked that I look like I hadn't slept in a month. I tell him what happened, the full story. Without missing a beat, he tells me to go home, find my dog. I've worked under Duke for over a decade now. He's basically an uncle, but that doesn't mean he's soft. Duke will push us to make sure that the job is done first. Safety and comfort comes at a distant second. I have never seen Duke make that face before. The one he made when I told him my dog was missing. He can relate. Poker was the name of Duke's dog before it got sick. A brown boxer. Died a couple years back. Duke took a week off from work. He knows what I'm going through. He even offers to help. Says he'll put pictures up around his neighborhood. People are at their best when life is at its worst. My mom's words are growing stronger by the second. I feel a hand on my shoulder as I open my car door, ready to drive back home and help my wife look for Luigi. It's Dax. What he tells me would have been shocking at any other moment in my life. Today, unfortunately, it was not. He asks me,
"Your dog went missing too?"
"You're never going to believe this." Dax is wrong. At this point, I'll believe anything, even from him. I don't tell him this. I tell Dax to tell me what he's got to tell me, because I gotta go home. Dax hops into the front seat of my truck and promises to make it quick.
"Vicky calls me around 11. Yeah, I think it's for Booty. It's not for Booty. It's because her doggy went missing. Now, I dress sexy just in case it becomes about Booty. Not that I don't care about the doggy, but sometimes Booty can help people in times of stress, so I want to make my body available, just in case."
Dax, I gotta go home. For the love of God, get to the point, please.
"Sorry, Cap. I'm driving over to Vicky's. Roads are empty. Even for a weeknight, they're empty. Granbury is a ghost town. Even a blind man could see how dead it was last night. So I get to the intersection between Brogden and Garner. For some reason, the red light's going long. Real long. Long enough to notice that's being long. At first I didn't notice, because my radio was being funny. Static. Nothing but static. I'm turning the dial, trying to find something. Anything. Nada. Zilch. Zip. Zooey. Radio is dead as Granbury. After about 30 seconds of spinning, I find a station, but it's not music. It's like this, whispering. Real quick whispering. I can't understand none of it. Not a word. Then the whispering starts to slow down. Not slow enough to understand, but slow enough to... It's like the words were taking shape. I couldn't understand them, but I could feel them. Then there was this humming. That's when I noticed the light was still red. I checked my watch. Had to be at least 6 minutes, which is 3 minutes longer than normal. I know, because normally when I'm at that light, it's for a booty call. But that's not the crazy part, Cap.
I feel a tap on my window that nearly kicks my kicker into the afterlife. It's Oscar. I clutch my chest and roll down my window. He says sorry about my dog and then offers to help look for him after work. I thank him and then tell him if I'm not home, it means I'm driving around the block looking for him. He taps his chest in solidarity and then walks back to the garage. I turn back to Dax, and for the first time ever, I want him to continue speaking. So I ask him, what was the crazy part, Dax?
The humming stops, and something else starts playing. I don't know how to describe it, Cap. It'd be like if you saw a new color. How would you paint that picture for someone? I swear, Cap, I swear to whatever it is up there in the skies. Once I heard that noise, my car started to float.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on another monthly payment. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
What's up, little psychos? I'm Investigator Slater, host of the Psychopedia podcast. Psychopedia is a true crime podcast delivering raw, real, and absolutely gripping episodes every single week. I dig deep to uncover fascinating details of heinous true crime cases while exploring criminology and psychology theories. I take you into the absolute darkest corners of the human psyche, my favorite territory, and present cases like you've never heard them before. Follow and listen to Psychopedia everywhere you get your podcasts.
The intersection of Brogden and Garner. The roads are empty. Way too empty for this time of day. Or maybe not. I'm never here in the middle of a weekday. Right now, I'm the only car at the intersection. There's a queue of things that my mind is trying to process, and it's building up quick. Too quick for my pea brain to keep up with. This is about 10 minutes out of the way, but how could I not swing by? After what Dax had told me, that his car had floated and then he woke up in Vicky's bed the next morning. Didn't remember anything in between. He told her that he didn't remember coming over, but that just made her more upset considering her dog was missing. So he tried to ignore it for as long as he could, until this morning, when he saw me at work and told me the whole insane story. The red light turned green. I slowly rolled into the intersection, looking in every direction. And then I turned towards the one direction that felt more curious. I got out of my car, slowly. I didn't know what I was looking for. It was pure blue, not a cloud to be found. Town Hall had told me to go to the police station. The police station told me to go to the veterinary hospital. The veterinary hospital told me to go to the library. The library told me to go home. Well, not the library. John Stuckey. That's what I saw when entering the biology section in the library. This was the last leg of the wild goose chase that became Finding My Wife, who had gone around town seeking answers. Now, right before I can finally go home and help her look for Luigi, I'm being shoulder slapped by John Stuckey, who's blocking my path while dressed in a cut-off American flag t-shirt and yellow bandana. His sunburned arms are redder than his cargo shorts. He tells me that he gave my wife some literature that would serve me well to learn before it's, quote, too late.
Consider it a survival guide.
Survival from what? I ask him, but he's already lost in what would pass his test for a thought.
I tried to warn them, but they wouldn't listen. Well, who's crazy now?
He pulls out an orange slice and starts sucking it dry, as if the seeds are a bloodline keeping him alive. With each suck, his head clicks back another hand on the cuckoo clock while his eyes roam wild under the translucent library lighting. Before I can leave the biology section, and by extension, John Stuckey, I'm handed a book entitled The Pale Horse by Coop Miller. The cover of the book, a man in a suburban street staring up at the sky, which is on fire. Thanks, but no thanks, Stuckey. I hand the book back to him and tell him to wear sunscreen. It's going to be a scorcher. My street is not empty. I've never seen this many people walking around my street before. Today, however, strangers are becoming familiar. I can imagine my wife being at our dining table surrounded by new neighborhood friends as she directed a full-scale attack on whatever was responsible for taking all of the dogs, all of the birds, all the squirrels. I walked inside ready to chant for a call to action led by the missus. But that would have to wait. My wife? She's not home. Camping out at town hall, chicken in the oven, humps and kisses. That's what her note said. Even in the midst of our town being turned into some governmental conspiracy, my wife found time to leave chicken for me in the oven. If that's not love, what is? When I plop down on the couch to rest my everything, I spot her across the street through my misty living room window. Kaylee, all 6 years old of her, sitting on her front step, holding a lost dog flyer. I can't imagine being 6 and having my dog vanish into thin air. It's bad enough when you're an adult, but when you're a kid and the exciting mystery of life is replaced by cruelty, your soul gets tainted. This can't stand, even though I barely can. My feet, back, legs, and neck are all barking at me. But I persevere to get up and go check in with Kaylee, who, for reasons that I'd like to understand, is currently alone on my street, which up until 10 minutes ago was packed, but now lays dormant. You could hear a fart from 2 blocks away. Maybe all my neighbors banded together without me. Search parties were formed, plans were hatched, unity was glued. Suddenly I feel left out. I never really cared about making nice with the others. That was more my wife's bag. I care now, though. The silence feels heavy. I can feel it crawling up my bones. I try to wash it off before I hit the edge of Kaylee's lawn so that I don't make her more upset than she already is. Kaylee looks up. Don't worry. We're going to find them. All of them. I promise. She sighs while standing up and heads inside. She does not take her lost dog flyer. It stays sitting on her front step like a snowflake trying to change colors. I pick it up. George. That's her dog's name. He's a Labradoodle. Cute little guy. I must have seen him 100 times and never remembered his name. Now, I'll never forget it. I get about 5 feet into my street before I stop to look up. I don't know what I'm looking for. A sign, maybe? It's never looked bluer. I feel like I'm staring at the ocean, as if the sky might drop and wash us all away. Or maybe I just need a nap. My plan was to meet my wife at town hall, fight the good fight until someone gives us an answer, starting with that crooked stop sign of a mayor, Mayor Braun. How the heck was my town not drowning with news reporters? Why wasn't this a national story? Everyone loves dogs. Humans, we can take them or leave them. Dogs, though. If this story got out, you'd see 1 million feet hit my street. It should be the biggest story in our country. Maybe not the country. I don't know. We're all just standing in the dark, staring up at the blue skies, waiting for some kind of sign.
You're looking in the right direction, amigo.
I turn around. It's Fred, wearing a faded yellow bathrobe, staring straight up into the sky. But his eyes are closed. For an older fella, he moves like the wind. I didn't even hear him walk up next to me. I ask Fred if he's all right. When he breathes, the muscles in his neck begin to spasm as he takes these epically long breaths, preparing to dive towards the bottom of an ocean. I ask Fred what he sees up there. He smiles and finally opens his eyes to turn and look at me.
We're all connected by the things we don't understand. Keep your eye to the sky.
My truck won't start. This is aggravating for multiple reasons. The top aggravation reason is that Fred is still standing in my street, about 20 feet away from my truck, staring up at the sky. Now, I got an oil change last week. There's no reason for my truck not to start. But reason has taken a step back lately, swapped out by chaos and confusion. How long until my body doesn't start? I get out of my truck and go inside to make a phone call. It dawns on me quickly that I don't know who to call for a ride. Ironically, that's not even an option, because my phone has no dial tone. You gotta be kidding me. I shake with anger and then do the only thing I can at this moment. I lie down on the floor. Maybe if I close my eyes for just a second, I'll be able to... It's dark outside. That's the first thing I think when my doorbell rings. My kicker nearly climbs up out of my throat. How long have I been asleep? The doorbell rings and must somehow convince my body that it needs to stand up, even though every cell inside of me wants to desperately remain horizontal. I get vertical with the fortitude of a housefly and then walk to my front door. It's Dax, holding 2 industrial flashlights. He hands me one. It's labeled Trojan.
Let's find Luigi, buddy.
Dax squares his shoulder, ready for war, or whatever it is that his face is trying to show. For once, I don't mind. I've never been more proud to be his friend. He didn't have to show up, but he did. I take one step outside, ready to put the world back onto its axis. I'm inspired, more than I ever have been. Just as my feet are about to hit the dirt patch known as my front lawn, Dax says,
Right after we talk about this.
Dax is holding up a book, The Pale Horse. Oh God, no. Please don't tell me that means he's with...
Greetings, comrade.
John Stuckey, dressed in camouflage. Dax speaks for Stuckey.
This ain't just a book, Cap. It's a...
Please don't say survival guide. Please don't say survival guide. Please don't say survival guide.
Survival guide.
Get cozy, comrade. It's time to rewrite history.
Are high-interest credit cards or personal loans weighing you down? Unlock gives homeowners a smarter option. With a home equity agreement, you can tap into your home's equity for cash today, and there are no monthly payments. Here's how it works. Unlock provides funds upfront and in exchange shares in a portion of your home's future value. That means you keep control with the flexibility to use your equity your way. Pay off bills, invest in home improvements, or set aside savings for peace of mind. For thousands of homeowners, Unlock has been the key to moving forward without the pressure of another payment. Put your equity to work for you. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
And together we have the podcast Office Ladies.
Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere.
Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
The Pale Horse. Stucky plops the book down onto my dining table and begins reciting each passage of significance as if it's his pledge of allegiance. I am blown away by the seamless nature in which he recites this. Dak stands nearby, popping open a can of tuna and eating the tuna straight from the can. In any other situation, this would be the most bizarre thing happening right now. Sadly, it is not. Stucky launches into the history of this book chronologically as I try to keep my head attached to my body, which is not easy. He goes through beat by insane beat. In the words of John Stucky.
Part 1, Operation Pale Dawn, 1947 through 1953. Secret Cold War-era program formed after a mysterious crash in the desert. The government, uncertain whether the crash came from a foreign adversary or something non-human, begins covert biological adaptation studies on volunteer soldiers. Early contact claims are only hinted at. Part 2, The White Archives, 1952 through 1964. Classified archive containing testimonies from pilots, engineers, and doctors. Many claim their experiments focus on, quote, neural resonance, a theory that communication with alien intelligence required tuning the human mind like an antenna. Part 3, Project Seraphim, 1965 through 1972. A series of morally gray psychological experiments where individuals were exposed to strange sound frequencies and dream induction technologies derived from recovered alien artifacts. Part 4, Nevada Cohort, 1973 through 1978. A group of rural residents report being taken to a remote research base after seeing lights in the sky. The chapter blends conspiracy tropes with human drama, diaries, interviews, and government transcripts. Part 5, Missing Week, 1978 through 1982. Each subject in the Nevada cohort reports losing exactly 7 days of memory. The book claims this aligns with experiments in, quote, temporal disassociation, a speculative attempt to replicate the alien method of non-linear communication. Part 6, Visitor's Blueprint, 1983 through 1990, outlines an alleged alien communication diagram decoded by government scientists, filled with cryptic symbols, equations, and energy patterns. The author interprets these as instructions for modifying human consciousness to allow direct interaction. Part 7, Human Conduits, 1990 through 1997. Examined individuals selected because their brains exhibited unusual electrical activity. The book dramatizes their experiments as they undergo, quote, resonance training, a blend of meditation, sensory deprivation, and machine-guided hallucinations. Part 8, Incident at Hangar 12, 1998. Describes disaster where a residence experiment goes wrong. Subjects enter uncontrollable trances, strange electrical surges appear in the facility, and the entire project is halted. Part 9, Purge and the Pale Horse, 1999 through 2005. Program is shut down and buried. The title, The Pale Horse, is revealed as a symbolic name for a final report predicting catastrophic consequences if human-alien mental contact continues. Part 10, Whistleblowers in the Shadows, 2006 through 2015. Former researchers begin leaking fragments over the decades. Audio tapes, coded letters, faded Polaroids of, quote, light forms, etc. Part 11, New Silence, 2016 through 2025. The author claims a new generation of experiments have begun using digital neural networks instead of human test subjects, but hints that humans are still being used indirectly. Epilogue. Entitled, quote, They Still Listen, end quote. The author concludes with a cryptic message that The aliens were never experimenters, but observers, and humans have been training themselves to be heard.
Stucky's epic recitation ends, and I am a shell of my former self. He finally sits down, catching his breath, and is then handed a fresh can of tuna. Dax, bulletproof to the lunacy, stands behind me and casually pats my shoulder, assuming I have now been enlightened. Everything they say might be real. At this point, it's all on the table. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go find my wife so we can find our dog and then find our sanity. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. Plus, of all places, why Granbury? Why pick a town in the middle of nowhere? Or is that the point? Because it's the middle of nowhere? This is what happens when you listen to Looney Tunes. Your life turns into a cartoon. Dax and Stucky are still staring at me, waiting for my reaction. There's a lot of things I could say. Where to even begin? But I keep it brief and tell them, I go. While heading for my front door, I hear Dax and Stucky say while following me outside,
Comrade?
The night air helps, even if it's brief. I'm grateful that I can breathe. I check my watch, 2:37 a.m. That can't be right. I didn't sleep for 12 hours. I'd say that's not possible, but possible and impossible have swapped seats on the bus to reality. My watch froze at 2:37? That's more likely. But how? Blackout? That won't affect my watch. Would it? All the lights on my street are out. Where the heck is everybody? Maybe it really is 2:37 a.m. You'd think I'd see at least one person out and about. Or maybe the search party's still going. I hope so. At least someone is fighting the good fight. Unlike me, napping on my floor. It's cold outside. Colder than you think, considering it was nearly 100 degrees this morning. Did they all go together? If so, where? Did they split up? If so, who's with who? How many questions can I ask myself before accepting the fact that answers come in short supply right now? I have to focus on one thing at a time. God knows what tomorrow will bring, or take. We can figure out a world without squirrels. Birds, too. But dogs? What if this stretches beyond my town? Can you imagine life without dogs? I'm not going to. I'm about to hit the tip of the hill on my street before it begins to dip. But then I stop. I see it. It's walking right towards me. We lock eyes through the dark. My heart sinks. It's a dog.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on another monthly payment. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
And together we have the podcast Office Ladies.
Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere.
Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies Rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.